What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you on Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, talk on what's been coming out about the company itself, and talk on that new truck prototype and potentially when that might be coming out. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate it. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 2%, 19.14 million shares being traded, 30 is the average, roughly around 7 minutes left in the trading day. So far it's been holding its gains fairly well. All of this today, the price action wise, has been dictated by the technicals because there has been no news, no SEC filings, nothing like that today. So like I said, it's just been piggybacking off of the broader market as well as the technicals. So I'm going to go over a couple of things, data points before I get into the truck and other stuff that I just wanted to briefly touch on. But $699,000 in calls being purchased versus 365,000 in puts. So based on this, people are optimistic about the foreseeable future, at least in the short term. Looking at this, so this shows all the open interest for the calls, the strike prices, expiry dates. Based on this, it is anticipated to be above $4.50. Keep in mind this week is a little bit shorter, so Thursday is closed and Friday is half a day, so just be aware of that. And looking at puts, it is anticipated to be sub $4. So you kind of have both extremes, very much dictated by the technicals. When it comes down to shorts though, they're not really doing anything at all. They're currently increasing around 7,000 shares. So they're probably taking the day off, if that makes sense. If they have the day off, I'm not really sure. But 27.76% of the free float is being shorted. 245.9 million shares overall are being shorted. And cost to borrow average is 19.36%. And through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate that there's around 600,000 shares available to be shorted. And so moving on from here, let's talk on some technicals. So as it stands, it is, just zooming out, it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, and it did bounce off of basically the last 3 or 4 days, that central Bollinger Band. So that has been the saving grace for Lucid for the last about 3 or 4 days. So kind of interesting when it comes down to that. So as it stands, it is still higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Looking at some of the fib levels with it at $4.33, it is trading between the P and the R1. So it just broke right now below this point, so the R1. So $4.11 is going to be the next strong support, and vice versa. $4.37 is going to be that next strong resistance. Well, as it stands, it's still kind of flirting with it right now, so we'll have to wait and see where it does close ultimately today. But overall though, I do feel like there's a lot more optimism, a lot more strong buyers behind the scenes despite the lower volume. So I think just a number of retail investors are getting out today. And for those of you that are very big fans of, I guess, the Elliott wave technicals, just wanted to show this to you. So it does show $4.12 being the pivot point, and assuming it can actually stay above that, which coincidentally that $4.11 or 412 is this point right here, so the P, so the pivot point. But assuming it can actually stay above that, then in theory it should be able to be trading within around $4.47 to $4.55, kind of within here, or even as high as, I guess, $4.55 to $4.63. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But it does also indicate that if it does break below that, then it could potentially trade between roughly the $3.90 and $3.99. So you kind of have, like I said, both extremes. And all of this is just dictated by the technicals. So very important to pay attention to that, in my own opinion. But as I always say, I'm not financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. And a couple of things I just wanted to share with you. So there was this that did come out, so roughly around a 2-minute video. I just wanted to briefly play this, and only because this is, I think, the most genuine aspect of Peter that he's ever been. And it actually kind of talks on why he had to grow it out. I guess his marketing department told him he had to look rugged, if that makes sense, just to kind of meet the vibe of the gravity. So oddly enough, I kind of liked this new viewpoint on Peter. So I'm just going to quickly play this before I touch on the actual truck. So this kind of snippet right here, clearly Lucid is doing prototype testing of this, but I wanted to give you a viewpoint on when that might potentially come out. So once again, I'm just going to quickly go over this.
Super comfortable. So despite appearances, don't be fooled, everyone. It's still me, Peter. And I was cajoled into this by my marketing department in order to launch our new rugged outdoor product, the things I do for Lucid. You wouldn't believe it. So here it is, our new baby, the Lucid Gravity, the state-of-the-art electric SUV, which will redefine electric EVs in this exciting era, combining hitherto unthought of attributes, disparate attributes that work against each other. Most efficient, over 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, enabling a battery pack of around 120 kilowatt hours to create over 440 miles of range. A 7-seater, 3-row SUV with state-of-the-art aerodynamics. We're pushing to get under 0.24 as a CD. Let me take you inside and take a look at this cavernous interior. So here in the cockpit, we have a very innovative new user experience. We call this the Clearview cockpit, which is enabled by this really sort of innovative new shape of steering wheel, allowing my vision uninterrupted right across this expansive 34-inch OLED screen, continuous screen. And then this is complemented by the center display, which is moved from portrait to landscape. And also a lovely little feature here is this glass sliding element on our center console. But the story only just begins here, because this expansive exterior goes right through 3 rows. And unbelievably, earlier this afternoon, I had a gentleman who's 6'10" sit in the 3rd row. Yes. So if I look in the 2nd row, we have this incredible seating. I'm super comfortable. I'm just around 6 foot, but there's more space than I would ever need here. But the story doesn't end here. Let's take a look. Let's go right back here. Let's go.
So yeah, very cool stuff. I kind of disagree. I don't think he's 6 foot, because I've seen videos of him and he looks rather small. But I did see that video of that individual who is a giant, and he just came out and it was like crazy high. So yeah, I think there is a lot of room in this vehicle. And plus, I think over the next little bit, if somehow Lucid in the next couple of quarters is able to reduce the actual production time, so instead of it being at the tail end of 2024 to move it up, that would be extremely advantageous for Lucid. But still, moving on from that though, let's talk on this truck. So obviously, I think a couple different pictures and variations of this have kind of popped up through Twitter and other social medias, but a lot of people are very curious about this, and rightfully so. So I did actually go through every single transcript that has ever happened with Lucid, all the way back up until the earliest one, which was Q3 of 2021. Zero indication of any word of truck or any other form of just like alternate SUV or whatever wording they might have used. They have never referred to that whatsoever. But I kind of saw this, and so this came out by 2021, so this was based on the original productions and stuff, but you do see by 2030, it's this planned pickup truck, which is estimated to be roughly around 7% of their generated revenue by 2030. So as you can kind of see, the Lucid Gravity, Lucid Air, the Coupe, sedans, premium SUVs. So I think definitely this might be it. So it's clearly by 2030 based on this viewpoint right here, which kind of shows their views. It isn't projected up until, or at least by 2026. So most likely it will be at the later part of the decade. So maybe by 2029, 2030. Who knows? But then again, based on Rivian's results, there is a lot of demand for this. So who knows? Pretty cool stuff when it comes down to that. As far as any initial price targets, there is nothing really listed whatsoever on here at all, as far as how much it might cost or whatever else. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And take advantage of this. Today is the very last day for you to sign up and take advantage of some free shares. So sign up for Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, plus you get 1 free share of SoFi. So for $100, you get 6 free stocks, plus any cash that you do have in this account, you're going to be earning 5.1% APY. So this is a win-win. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.